Hey everyone, thanks for Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video we're going to be playing through a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called The Dark Tomb. This is a dungeon crawler in a tin. It is a 1 to 5 player game from Kozz games that takes roughly half an hour to an hour to play and is a fully cooperative game where it can be played in two ways. If you go all the way up to 5 players, then it's going to be a 1 versus many. If you're 1 to 4, then it's a fully cooperative game where all the players are working together to make it through all 3 dungeons and come out on the other end alive. So in this video, I'm going to be playing through the game, showing you the first, middle, and end few turns to show you how the game plays and progresses to help you decide on whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notifications anytime I drop new videos, also hit that notification bell, and that'll let you know when I drop new stuff. So I do also want to point out that all the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change and look a lot better than the final production copy of the game. So let's go ahead and head to the table and we'll see how this one plays. Alright, so now we're ready to move into the game. So the game itself is going to be played over 3 dungeons, hopefully, depending upon how well our players do. They're going to start off with the level 1 dungeon and then dive deeper into the dungeon after they complete each level. Now, during each level, the players must reveal all the tiles on that level and eliminate all the monsters on all of those tiles. They're going to do this over a series of rounds. Each round, you're going to start with the first player and proceed in a clockwise manner where all players are going to get to take a turn, followed by the chamber getting to take a turn. And this is going to continue round after round until either the players complete the dungeon or all the players are eliminated, in which case the players have failed. So let's go ahead and move into it. So first off, we're going to reveal the top card for our level 1 dungeon. And this is our narrative card. So this is the Chamber of Decay. This is level 1. We descend into the cold, dark chamber divided by enormous stone walls. A wretched odor of ancient decay hangs in the air. You advance cautiously, and a sudden movement in the shadows catches your eye. From there, it's going to tell us the setup for this particular dungeon. The space with the dot is going to be our first space. This is going to be how our characters are going to start on the dungeon, and then we're going to grab the rest of the spaces for that dungeon. So we're going to have 4 additional cards on there. These are going to be placed out in this pattern. And then we'll have this space down here. So then we'll go ahead and reveal this space. And this is our starting location. So each of our heroes that's playing will place their marker on their space. Then this can be placed off to the side as we don't need that anymore. All right, so from there, then it moves into the first player's turn, and you can determine this before the game by each player rolling the d20 to determine which is the starting player. For my game, I've already chosen that, so Aldrich is going to go first, followed by Odin, and then we're going to have the chamber turn each round. So moving into each character's turn, it's going to be broken down into a couple of steps. First, that character can choose to move up to the movement value on their character's card, and they only can move orthogonally, so spaces that are to their left, right, up, and down only. No diagonal movement is allowed. Once they've completed their movement, then they can do an action, and they have 4 different actions on their character cards. 3 of them are unique, and 1 of them, all the characters are going to have a dash, which allows them to move an additional 3 spaces. And they'll place their cube on the selection that they've chosen. Each character can also do a number of different free actions, including exploring tiles. So if you're on a border edge, you can explore a new tile. You can gain an item. If there's a white cube that you're on, you can choose to gain an item by removing that cube. And you can also pass items to other heroes you're adjacent to. So moving into it with Aldrich, he's going to go first. His movement is 5, so let's go ahead and start moving him towards that border there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From there, then he's going to be able to choose an action. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by doing that additional 3 movements. And I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, and 3. So that way I'm pretty close to that spot. That's the end of my turn, as I don't have any other free actions that I can do at this point. So moving over to Odin to go with his turn. So his movement is 6. He's a little bit of a quicker character. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to go ahead and stop there and reveal this free action by exploring the tile. And then he can continue his movement. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have our first tile. So each space that has the white wrench there is going to have an item token placed in it. And then the monster is going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this over. And I'll place a monster cube there. And then I'm going to reveal the top monster from the deck. And we have a rat swarm there. So then we're going to place a black cube marking the number of hit points that has based on the number of characters. We have 2 characters, so the rat swarms are going to have 4 hit points. Then I'm going to go ahead, I can go ahead and continue my movement. And oof, those rat swarms can move fast. They got a movement of 7, so I got to be a little careful with that, because I don't really want to get too tangled up just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and move down 1, 2, 3. That'll get me next to my other player, and then we can kind of coordinate and try to get in there and get them. So from there, then it will move over to the Chamber's turn. So the Chamber is going to start off by doing a seismic event, and he's going to roll the 20-sided die. If he gets a 17 to 20, then each character is going to take a damage. In this way, you're going to kind of keep the game moving forward. And of course, I rolled an 18, so each one of my characters will start off by taking a damage. All right. That is going to be it, and I did not take an action with Odin, and I'm not going to. There wasn't really anything else that I wanted to do at this point for his turn. So I just wanted to clarify that before we move on. All right, so at this point then it goes into the monster's turns, and they work pretty much the same way as the character or the heroes. They're going to start with their movement. So our monster here can only go around as there's no pathway here. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now monsters cannot gain items, and they also cannot explore new tiles. From there, then it would take an action, which is normally going to be an attack. Now the monster does not have range, as his attack that he has only has a range of 1, so he must be next to a hero in order to be able to take care of that. So then his turn is done, and you'd move on to the next monster. And there aren't any others exposed at this point, so we'll move back into the character's turns with Aldrich to go. So he's going to go ahead and start off again. He's going to get his movement of 5. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I can move through characters, so I just cannot move through enemies for characters. And enemies can move through other monsters, but they cannot move through heroes. All right, so let's see what we got here. So I do have a dagger sling that I could do, and that will do a damage to the rats. So let's go ahead and try that. So that's a 3+ attack, so it's going to add 3 to whatever I roll. And let's see what we get here. It's a 1. Okay, so 1s are critical fails. That means you're going to take a wound. You stabbed yourself on that in that situation, and obviously the attack fails for that. All right, moving over to the next character to go, we have Odin again. So he is going to get to move 6. And let's see here, what do I want to do? So I'm simply going to move up to 1, 2, 3. And then I do have the bolt strike I can try to do. That is going to give, that's a range of 3 to 5. So I got to be a little bit farther back. So I'm 1, 2, 3 away. I'm good there. And that's a -2. The rat's armor is 12. So this is going to bump that up to basically a 14. So I need a 14 or better to hit them. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try, though. Let's see if I can get it on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. And I got a 14. So that is exactly what I needed to hit them. So they're going to take 2 damage from that attack. That will end my turn, as I cannot do anything else at this point. So it's going to, again, move over to the Chamber's turn. We're going to go ahead and do that seismic roll. And it's 11 this time, so this time we're okay. That is that. And then we're going to move in and attack. So 1, 2. And then the rat swarm is going to attack. And it'll go ahead and go after the character that is... Let's go after Odin here. So he's going to go ahead and take it. He's got an armor of 15. So let's see what the rats get. They've got a 9. So 9 plus 3 is 12. Not enough to hit Odin, so we're not going to take any damage from that. All right, back over to Eldritch to go. He is going to, let's see, I'll go ahead and move 2. And I'm going to go and do an explore action first. So let's go ahead and explore. So we've got some more items up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack. So I'm going to go ahead and try the broadsword. It's a -1, so I need a 13 or better. And I got a 16, so that is a hit. That's going to do 2 damage, and that will eliminate that rat swarm. So we're going to go ahead and remove them. And then we can just simply discard that card and add our cubes back over. All right, so that is the end of his turn, as I can't do anything else at this point. So then it's going to move back over to Odin to go. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to be on top of that item. He's going to do a free action to collect that item. So we'll return the cube and gain an item. So we have an elixir. So this is +1. I get to heal. Uses a bonus action on any turn, discard after use. So I'm going to slide that behind Odin. And then as my action, I'm just going to go ahead and dash and go 3 spaces. So I'll go 1, 2, and 3. And that will finish off my turn. Back over to the chamber. So we're going to do that seismic events. 13 is not enough. And then the monsters, there are no monsters right now. So moving back over to Aldrich to go. So he's going to go after that other item. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as his action, I'll go ahead and do the dash. So 1, 2, go ahead and pick up that item. And he found some fire. Nice. All right, so with fire, it has a range of 1 to 4. And you can use it by itself to do 1 damage. Or if I can combine this with the spear, then I can do 3 damage. And it's used in place of an action, and it's an automatic hit on 1 monster discard after use. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to roll for that, so that's good. And that is it for my turn. So over to the other character, he's going to move 2, and then he'll go ahead and do a free action to explore. So we've got another item. Well, that was convenient, and a monster. All right. And then let's see what we got. It is a henchman. Okay, so with those guys, they are going to have 7 hit points. Oof. They have a pretty good attack at +5. They can target 2 characters, and they have a range of 2 to 4 and do 2 damage. So these guys are nasty. We have to be careful on these guys. All right, and they have an armor of 15, so they're going to be harder to hit as well. So this is not good. Luckily, they're pretty slow at 3 movement. So maybe if I keep a little bit of a distance, it'll help a little bit, maybe. All right, that was 2 movements, or 3 movement I think I used. So I got 3 more left. So let's go and go 1, 2, 3. Keep working towards that item, and that will finish off my turn. As I already used dash. I could try, let's go ahead and try to heal. So this is going to have me roll, I need to roll a 14 to 20 to pull this off. And I got a 16, so I do heal 1. That's cool. All right, so that'll stay there. And then we're on to the chamber. So again, that's seismic events. It's a 14, so nope, not enough. So that's good. And then the monster's going to move, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3. It's going to go towards the closest hero by the shortest distance. So since it cannot go through here because this has not been explored yet, it's going to kind of come up and around. At this point, I'm going to take a few turns off camera, and we'll be back a little bit later in the round to see how our heroes are doing. All right, so we're back, and it was a tough fought battle with the henchmen. We've got them on the ropes. They're almost ready to go down, and Eldritch has taken some serious damage. He's down to 3 hit points. So let's see if we can finish it off. Nothing mattering. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to try his broadsword. 12. Nope, not enough. And then Odin's going to have to... His is a 3 to 5 as well. So I'm going to move forward and force him to move back. So he can't get both of us. Otherwise, that would be bad. Seismic event, 13. And then he's going to move back 1 and target me. It's a 9, 14 this time, so not enough there. I'm going to go ahead and go back with Aldrich. And we're going to try that dagger sling again. To +3, 11. No, not enough. My characters are having a rough time here. All right, so I'm going to step back, and I'll do the bolt sling. This is going to be a hard shot. It's a 20. All right, so the henchmen have gone down. Okay, so that will defeat them, and all of the tiles have been revealed. So at this point, this dungeon has been completed. So when you complete a dungeon, each character is going to regain 3 health. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm up to 6. And then my other guy over here is at max. We'll go ahead and clear these. And then we will get the reward or the thing here. So we have a distant light. So after a brief moment's rest, you notice a small glimpse of light emanating from a crack in the far wall, which leads to a small stone tunnel. You slowly make your way through on hands and knees and take in a deep breath before entering the catacombs. All right, so from here then we're going to go ahead and clear all these tiles out, and then we'll go ahead and reveal the next story element. So with this one, we have the catacombs. So this is level 2. You enter a twisted labyrinth of narrow corridors through a decrepit Gorriah burial site. Several vaults are protected by impenetrable wooden gates, designed to keep the spirits in and the marauders out. All right, so from here, then again, it's going to show us our setup. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and then I'm going to play through some of this round off camera, and we'll be back a little bit later to see how our heroes are doing. All right, so after a number of rounds, we're back in it. Our players were able to eliminate the mummy, but we still have a serpent out there and the arachnoids. And the serpent has been doing some serious damage to Odin. He got him trapped in the corner here, and he's down to 2 hit points. So one more hit from the serpent, and Odin is going to be out for this level, and it's going to all fall to Eldrick to handle this, or the rest of it, if that happens. All right, so we're moving back into our heroes' turns. So Eldrick is going to be the next one to go. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Do I stop there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hit him with my dagger sling. And then maybe I can finish him off. Oof, that's going to be tough. Well, I think... yeah, I'm not going to quite get there with the broadsword. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Or I could use the crossbow and finish him off and not risk the attack, but then I'm spending the crossbow. Well, I think I'm going to be a little risky here. I'm going to try the dagger. +3, 14, so it is a hit. So I do hit him there. And then it's going to be over to Odin to go. Pretty much all I can do is that. I could move and force him to follow. I could go up around that corner there, force him to come after me or not. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to try to take him out with the bolt strike. We'll see what happens here. It's a 12. Not enough. Not even close. Okay, so that is it. For my character's turns, over to the seismic event. It's a 15, so nothing there. And then the monsters are going to move. So let's go ahead and handle this one first. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over to the snake, or the serpent. He does have range. And he won't be able to get range to both of them. So he's going to go ahead and go after Odin here. And it's an 8, so 8 plus 4 is 12. Not enough to get to his armor. So we got lucky there. All right, so back over to our characters to go at this point. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish him off here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and try to hit him with the broadsword. So let's go ahead and shift that over. Oh, it's a 1. Oh, no. All right, so he has 1 hit point remaining. I was behind him, and Odin was here. So I'm going to take a damage for that. Unfortunately, I must have hit my leg with my broadsword. And then it's over to Odin. I'm going to get right in his face and try the broadsword or the battle axe. Maybe I'll do a little bit better. Yes, that is going to finish him off. So the serpents have been eliminated at this point. Just barely. All right. And that was good. All right. Then we're on to the seismic event. An 8. And then again, these guys are going to keep moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then back over to our heroes. So at this point, I will move 2 and trade to get the key. And then 1, 2, 3. And then I will go ahead and use my dash to move 3 more. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then with Odoram, he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's also going to use his dash to kind of get around that corridor there, as they can shoot through walls, and they have a movement of 5. So I might want to go somewhere else. I'd like to try to get around them so I can potentially get up here, but it all depends on what's in this one. If there's a key there, then I have to get up there. If not, then I think that is the last item. Nope, there's still a couple left. Well, yeah, there'll be 2 left. All right, so let me see. Take that back. So let's go down here instead and see if we can get away from them. All right, seismic event is an 8, so we're okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the best they can do, and it's 2 to 4, so they don't have range yet to anybody. All right, over to Eldritch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I cannot sprint yet. So then I'm going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I cannot sprint either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have a 2 to 4 range, so they will be able to get to me. So do I just step out and try to hit them first with the bolt strike? They are pretty weak at 9, so I need an 11 or better to pull it off, and I do have fairly decent armor, so maybe I'll try that instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I will try my bolt strike, and it's a 13. Minus 2 is 11. Is going to be enough to hit them, so that will drop them down to a 4. Then it is the seismic encounter, an 8 again. They're going to move. They only need to be 2 to 4. So go ahead and do that, and then they're going to attack. And it's a 5, so they are going to run and flee. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Okay, so back to us. I'm going to go ahead and move in, use the key. That lets me open the door. And then I'll move up. That's my 3rd movement point. Free action to pick up the item. And it's the trident. Okay, so this lets me, this is a range of 3. It can go through walls, and it does 3 automatic hits. Use in place of an action, so that's good. All right. So then I'm not so concerned about that, because that is the other key, since I cannot get in there at this point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move 2 more, and I have used my dash, so I cannot do anything else with that. All right, and then with Odoram, I'm going to go ahead and move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I will also move the 3. Well, I haven't used my heal yet either, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe try that instead. See if I can get a heal out of this. Definitely not. All right. So then it is going to be back over to the enemies. First the seismic. Oh no, so we're all taking a hit. Or the 2 of us are. And then the enemy is going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it does not have range to us yet. Back over to us to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4. I will have to stop there. And then I will go ahead and do the strike back just in case the enemies are able to hit us. And then I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I only have 1 hit point left. Okay. And that is it for my turn. I could use the elixir, which I think I'm going to do at this point to give me another hit point. So that only heals me 1. All right. And the seismic event is a 1, so no effect there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to go ahead and stop there as it has range. And its attack is a 13 plus 2 is 15. That is going to be a hit, and it does 1 damage. So I'm down to 1 hit point as well, but I also do 2 back to it because of my strike back. All right, back over to our turn. I'm going to move up and try to hit it with my broadsword here. It's an 18, so that is 2 damage with the broadsword, and that will finish off that enemy, and that finishes off the level. And our characters just barely made it through. That's going to be a lot of items we're going to have to use. I saved them all up, so we'll hopefully be able to take care of some enemies fairly quickly with some of these things moving forward. All right, so again, each of our characters will heal. 3 hit points. And then go ahead and clear the rest of these items and these dungeon cards. And then we have to do the reward section as well, or the next story. So let's see what we find here. Repose. So after a hard-fought battle and a grueling passage through the catacombs, you opt to rest for the evening. As you lay down on the stone floor and drift off into a deep slumber, Odoram creeps into your dreams. His maniacal laugh warns of the most dangerous challenges ahead. Whoa. All right, so on to the final chamber. So this is Odoram's Crypt, level 3. You enter a vast, damp, cavernous crypt and sense you've reached your destination, the final resting place of Odoram. Deep pools of water can be found here, which are impossible to cross without aid. All right, so then we're gonna set up and we'll have our main thing out. And then we have one on each side. And then one up top and one below. Okay, each of our characters will start. And we start with an item out there too. So we'll go ahead and clear this last item out, which was the key. And we're on to level 3. All right, so again, our characters will start us off here. Ooh, what to do? Well, let me move over. 1, 2, 3. Pick that up. 4, 5. That way we can do some trades. So let me see what we got here. So this is the Iron Ball. So this is not very good on its own, but if we can get it together with some of the other things, we can do some serious damage with this. So I'll go ahead and add that to my area, and then we'll do a trade. And I've got the crossbow here, and trident. So let's go ahead and give the fire to this guy. That way I can have the fire and the spear. So that lets me do a combination attack of 3 damage. Crossbow is 2 damage, and the trident is 3. So that's 8 damage between those 3 items so far. And then if we can get that, that'll give us a total of 13 potential damage that we can divvy out to these enemies as we move in here. So we don't have a lot of hit points, but we'll see what we can do otherwise. All right, so that was all I can do there. And I'll go ahead and do a dash and move 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Do I expose that level? Sure, why not? All right, so we have a area or a water over there which we cannot cross, and our enemy for this spot is Aramians, and they have 5 hit points. All right, they have a movement of 4, range of 1 to 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're not going to be able to get to us yet. So that's good. All right. We've got 2 more enemies in this level. One of them is definitely the big bad. All right. So the question is, what do we do now? Odoram is up next. And I guess I'll get in position because they cannot shoot through walls. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go there. And then I'll go ahead and sprint. 1, 2, and I'll just go back and forth to use that. All right, so let's go ahead and move the enemy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a movement of 4 and a range of 1 to 2. So it doesn't have a range, so it's not going to be able to do anything there. And then we're on to our heroes' turns again. So Aldrich is going to go. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could pick up that item and then throw the dagger at them. What to do? Now, I'll go ahead and pick that up. So we go ahead and move on to that space. pick up the item. So let's see what we find here. And we have boards. Boards provide flotation, enabling passage across the water. It can be used multiple times due to its weight. Movement on solid ground is reduced by 1 space per turn. So now I can only move 4 spaces with him. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the strike back just in case they're able to hit. And that will finish off his turn. And then with Odoram, I'm going to go, or Odan. I could step out 1, 2. He might be able to get in range of both of us then, so I got to be careful how far I come out. So I could simply just stay there and try to heal again. Kind of gear myself up. So he can go, he's going to be able to move. So if I come out, go out there. I'd have to go there to be able to hit him. So yeah, I think I'm going to hold off there, and I'll go ahead and try to heal again. It's a 3, so I missed. And then back over to the enemy, so seismic event, no effect. He can pretty much stay there. And he'll attack. It's a 14, so he definitely hits and does 2 damage. So I'm down to 2 hit points remaining. But because of my strike back, I'm going to do 3 back to him. So now he's down to 2 hit points left. So that's good. And then it's back to us. So I'm going to go ahead and try to attack with the broadsword. It's a 13. It is a hit, and that is 2 damage. So that is the enemy. That's going to eliminate them. And that's good. And then I cannot move with him since I already did my action. So let's go ahead and go down with him too and expose. Ooh, geez. There's an enemy right there. So we'll see what we got here. This is... Oh no, it's the big guy himself. So 2, he's going to have 8 hit points. Oof. He can do 3 damage and he can attack through walls. Wow. Okay, so at this point, one, 2, 3, I'll pick up the item. Let's see what I find here. It is, some have shift. A chambered tile shifts, carrying all items, monsters, and characters with it. If unexplored, remains unexplored, discard afterwards. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my spear with fire. So that's going to let me do 3 damage to him. So that brings him down to a 5. All right, and then it's going to go to the enemy's turns. So it's a 10, so no effect there. And then he's going to go ahead. What's his range? Is 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to have to move. So I'll go there. And then he's going to attack. He's +2 on his attack. It's a 15, so he hits on 3 damage. So 1, 2, 3. So I got 2 hit points left with him. And then it's back over to our turn. All right. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will go ahead and sprint with that. And I can do that because I have the boards. Otherwise, normally I couldn't cross the water. We'll reveal. And we have another item and our final enemy, which is a dragon. Has a movement of 3, has a range of 3 to 4, and go around corners. Oof, not good. All right, and he is going to have 7 hit points. All right. So then I still have a couple movement points left, so I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2 over. I think I can stay out of range of him. Yeah. All right. And then it's over to Oden to go. And I need to get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my teleport and teleport up here. Reveal this one then. So that's an item there. And then I have my dash. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, over to the event. Oh no! So we're each down to 1 hit point left from the seismic events. And the enemies. So the dragon moves 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then Odoram is going to move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He does not have range to me right now, so somewhat lucky there. All right. Then it's back to us. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, pick that up, and 4. So that gets me the chain. So I have the chain, the iron ball, and then I still need I think I need the handle still. All right. I'll go ahead and use the crossbow to do 2 automatic to the dragon. So that'll bring him down to 5. And do I want to get... No, I've already moved. All right. So then the dragon's going to go 1, 2, 3. I think it can go through water. Then it's going to go ahead and attack. So it's +1 on an 11. Or first off, I got to go do him first. So jumping ahead of myself. So there's 1. Pick that up. And that's the handle that I'm looking for. Okay. And then when can I use this? Chamber shifts, carrying all items, monsters, characters with it, unexplored. Looks like I can do it at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and shift that up here instead. And the dragon 3 to 4, it's only targeting 1 person. So that was my first movement point. So second, third. Now I'm adjacent to him. I can do a trade. So I'm going to give him the handle. That'll combine to all 3 items. And I'm going to take the tridents. And then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 back. All right. So from there, then again, it will be the dragon's turn now. So now the dragon has moved. I got to do the seismic event. We're good there. And then it's going to attack. Oh, it missed on a 1. So it takes a wound instead. And it's going to bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was really fortunate. And then he's going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he can't do anything at this point. All right, so now I just got to get close enough to hit these guys. He's got a range of 1 to 3. He can target 2 players. He can go through walls. All right. So it's back to me. All right, so with him, at this point, I need to get over and hit him with that. It has a range of 1 to 4. So I'm not close enough just yet. So he's got a range of 4 and then 1 to 3 with his attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not too far away. So I'm just going to come out a couple there. All right. And then I will also trade the boards now that I'm adjacent to him. So then Odoram's going to go. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And I don't have range enough yet. So stick back here and hope that I have enough. I'm going to go and try to heal. Not that it's going to probably matter too much. I do heal though, so that's plus. All right, over to the enemies. So first off, seismic. Whew, that was close. That was almost a 17. All right, and then the enemies are going to go. So the dragon first moves 3. 1, 2, 3. Has a range of 3 to 4. 2, 3, 4. So I'm just out of range. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not enough range, either one of them. Over to us. So for me, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I can move all my spaces now. And I'm going to go ahead and swing with the ball and chain. So I have all 3, the handle, the chain, and the iron ball for 5 damage, which is enough to finish him off. So he has been eliminated. The big bad of the chamber is gone. So we just have the dragon left, and we'll see if we can pull this off. All right, so then it's over to my other character here. So I'm just going to go right there, and I'm going to use the trident on my attack. It's going to do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. So I'm down to, he's got 1 hit point remaining. All right, so over to the seismic events. 14. Ooh, if that is close. All right, and then the dragon is simply going to stay there, and he will attack. He's got a +1. It's a 20. So my guy is gone. It is down to Eldrick if he can pull this off. He's got 1 hit point left. All right, so it's his turn, and I'm going to go ahead, and the dragon's got an 11 armor, so I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw the daggers and see if I can pull this off here. This is it. It's a 9 plus 3 is 12. Oh my goodness, by 1 point, I was able to defeat the dragon. Epic. Epic, epic. He did not see that coming around the corner, and that is the game. Man, that was epic. Down to 1 hit point. That's all that separated me from victory and defeat. So managed to pull it out right at the end with that quick little knife. Man, so cool. All right, so final reward on this is the amulet. So you notice a slight glow on the stone slab and immediately recognize the Amulet of Fire. A wave of warmth passes over you, knowing now that the city of Gorriah will finally be at peace. Or so they say. We'll find out. All right, so that is it. So I hope you found the video helpful in deciding on whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by Kickstarter's main section and drop a comment in the comment section. I'm sure the creator would love to hear from you and is more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, I'll see you later.